Sterilization is also an additional burden that is left for the woman to bear. More than 50% of Indian girls are married off before they turn 18. Soon after she attains puberty, her marriage plans are afoot. Even when her body is not ready to consummate her marriage, she is already under pressure from her in-laws to prove her fertility by giving birth to children soon. For instance, 18-year-old Radha was already a mother of two before she could even get used to being a wife.
50 पुस्तक वीतम
मैं साथ चाहती थी कि हमारे बच्चे हो जाएं जल्दी से। लेकिन बताए तो माता भी संगीत क्या समझते हैं, कहते थे 2 बच्चे होंगे बता बहुत जल्दी। हम पहले अपने सहेलियों के साथ में खेल भी लेते थे, जब शादी नहीं होती तो आप कहीं जा भी नहीं पाते उन लोग बच्चों के चक्कर में और शादी नहीं होती। तो घर से कहते कमजोरी आ जाती है बच्चे जल्दी।
16% of girls between 15 to 19 years have begun childbearing. 4% of them are pregnant with their first child, and 12% are already mothers. Although healthy mothers make healthy babies, but a teenage mother usually runs a high risk of losing her child. In India, for every 1,000 live births, 77 children born to teenage mothers die.
What really happens is too young, too old, too soon, too frequent. If the woman is in this 2-4 tours, then there are problems. You have a malnourished girl marrying early without the adequate, and then delivering baby before she's 18, and then going in for frequent pregnancies. Sometimes they've already had 2-3 children by the time they're 20-21. So this is what you will get.
But the problem is multi-layered. Most people believe that having many children indicates a sign of prosperity. The more, the merrier. They see them as an investment that will come back with interest that they can fall back on in their future. But what they don't realize is having more children in the beginning is like starting life on a deficit.
वो आदमी नहीं ऐसी बात करके नहीं सोचता, वो सोचेगा तुझे क्या करना, कमा के तो मैं लाऊंगा, तुझे तो घर में बना के खिलाना है ना, जैसे मैं ला के दूंगा तुम अपने पैसे बना के खिलाते रहो।
All you need to do is you make food. He doesn't think about his wife's health. He doesn't think she has to feed her. He has to bad children. He is losing nutrition.
मालिक ऊपर वाले का देन है ना, भगवान का देन है।
Look at this guy who is saying children God are giving children. So he is the hands of our power.
एक माँ के 2 बच्चे हैं, तो सुख सुविधाएं हमारा बाप दे सकते हैं, अगर 5 बच्चे हो जाएंगे तो उनको कहाँ दे पाएंगे? वो रोजगार क्या
He is logical. He is saying how can I take care of my children?
माया नहीं चाहिए, हमें खुली माया चाहिए। खुली माया होती है ये बेटे।
She thinks it's an asset. Idiot. Husbands want more and more children.
बच्चों को कैसे रखना, कैसे खिलाना,
They don't care about how to bring them up. They give a damn.
It's like putting all the eggs in one basket. Why have more children when she can't nourish what she already has? By not feasting her birth, she ends up not only depriving each a healthy life, but also denies herself a wholesome motherhood. But is it really up to her to make those choices?
औरतों की बात कौन मानता है? हमारे इसमें तो कोई नहीं मानता।
Nobody listens to a woman.
Space the family. It's not in her hands. And how do we see that, like any urban educated mother can decide that I want the baby when my first child is 2.5 years, then only I want to start conception of the second baby. How do we give her the tools to do that?
By and large, the attitude of a man towards his wife
Human rights lie.
is possibly worse than his attitude towards his buffalo. So if
Wonderfully
he
said.
were to think of the money that he would spend on treating his wife who's bleeding during pregnancy or post-pregnancy, I think his attitude would be to let his wife die and buy a buffalo rather than use that money on the treatment of his wife.
And trains wife as a buffalo.
Girls are only seen as part of the dowry that boys demand. But something like lighting his father's funeral pyre is reason enough for a family to be obsessed about having a boy child. in this mad rush to have a boy. More girls are born.
कुछ लोग हैं मेरे बड़े भाई हैं उनके पास 6 लड़कियां उनने अपनी लेना भी लड़का के चक्कर में 6 हो गई 6 के बाद 7वां लड़का है
मैं खुद चाहती थी कि एक लड़का आ जाए कम से कम
वो घर का चिराग होता क्या है क्यों दूसरा बंद चलेगा
Carry the family
हाँ
name.
बंद चलेगा उसका
You want a male child, you want a healthy male child, you want the family name to be continued, you want somebody to look after you in your old age. You need healthy kids. And if you, to have healthy kids, you need to have healthy mother.
Asha married at the age of 16 and could not escape family pressure for want of a boy. She lost 3 children out of her 6 pregnancies. She hopes to have a son at least this time.
जैसे कि हमारे हमारा आदमी चाहते हैं लड़के कहते हैं लड़का देंगे बस
Her husband wants a son
रोटी
to carry his family name.
नाम निकाल चला दे तो
They are making babies after babies.
जब तक लड़का होया तो
He drinks a lot.
दूध पीते
Yes.
शाम को 2 बोतल 3 बोतल ऐसे पीते हम कहते थे भगवान मुझे लड़का दे
Give me a son, I'll quit drinking.
लड़का हो गया तो दारू छोड़ देंगे लड़की और ज्यादा से ज्यादा और ज्यादा गम के मारे
The bias against girls is skewing our gender ratio. In 1991, there was 945 females for every 1,000 males. In 10 years' time, the figure has dropped to 927 females. In some Indian states like Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, it's as low as 870 females.
Even in the religion, females apparently are treated as gods or goddesses, and despite all this, it's practice of female discrimination and not wanting females and wanting on the opposite end the males.